Gina, I need to talk to you about my mom's funeral.
Oh, sure, Anton. I just heard from your dad. We'll all be meeting up for drinks on Thursday the 5th, and the funeral itself is on Friday, right?
Yeah, that's right. Apparently we got pushed back a day because they're having some technical problems at the funeral parlor. So we're just gonna go for drinks on the 5th instead.
Right. It's also the busiest time of year for them right now, and I heard you sometimes have to wait over a week, so I guess we should count ourselves lucky they managed to fit us in the next day.
So anyway, as for what I messaged you about, sorry babe, but I'll be going to work today.
Huh? Work? I thought today was the start of your condolence leave. I thought you got a full week off for a parent.
I do. But I got a call from the hospital Mom was staying at while I was at work and had to rush off in a panic. I had to drop a particularly troublesome project I've been trying to get completed for ages. And now the office is in chaos with everyone trying to pick up the pieces. I didn't find anyone to take over for me, so I'm worried about how they're going to cope since everyone already has their own stuff to deal with. I'll never be able to have peace of mind with the thought of them all rushing around and having their schedules messed up on my behalf. So I'm gonna dash over and take care of it. Which means, and I'm sorry about this, babe, but I think I'll be sleeping at the office tonight.
I see.
I'll be home tomorrow night. I feel bad asking, but would you mind taking care of my pops in the house while I'm away?
I see. I guess you are in a difficult spot, and it's only natural you'd want to get back on top of everything to save your coworkers the trouble. I think your work ethic and sense of duty to your company are admirable.
I'm really sorry about the timing here, babe. I know it sucks, but we do have a little time before the funeral, and I seriously need to get this handled as soon as possible so things can get back to normal for everyone at the office and I can get a good night's sleep again.
Yeah, I get it. All right. Gina! Long time no see, girl. It's me, Nina. Do you remember me? Huh? Nina? Oh, by any chance, is this the Nina from my class in high school? Bingo! Anyway, let's get down to business. Tell me, Gina, where do you think I am right now? I'm sorry, Nina, but I don't have time to be messaging right now. I'll get in touch when things have settled down, okay? Ooh, get you, little Miss Diva. Looks like someone's in a grouch. No, it's not like that. Looks like I have no choice. Hey, Gina, it must really suck for you, huh? I can't believe it's your husband's day off, but he didn't even stay home to spend time with you. Day off? Sure, it's technically his day off. We don't have the luxury of spending time together right now. We're going through a difficult time. Ah, I see. Does that mean you saw this coming? Me stealing your husband, Anton, from you, that is. Huh? So, back to where we just left off. Where do you think I am right now, Gina? Go on. Tell me. I don't know, and I don't care. Jeez, you're no fun. Whatever, so be it. The truth is, I'm with Anton in the luxury hot spa resort in Gregsby Town. Quit joking around. I'm not in the mood. You wish I was joking. What the hell is this? We've been dating for a whole 2 years now. I think it's gonna be time for us to tie the knot soon. Yes. My big dream wedding is going to be amazing. 2 years? Does that mean you've had your claws in him ever since we started caring for his mom? You need to hurry up and divorce him so I can have him all to myself. Why would you be doing this now of all times? Listen to me, girl, and listen good. You think you're such hot shit, don't you? Did you think I forgot what a teacher's pet you were in school? You had no right to be getting grades that good despite coming from a single mother household. You even got into the best college in the state, and on a scholarship with a tuition fees exemption, no less. Ugh, it makes my blood boil just thinking about it. How can there be so much injustice in the world? You make me sick, you disgusting freeloader. Wait, is this why you... And that's not all. Anton's mom and dad were fiercely against the wedding when they found out you were raised by a single mom, weren't they? No, that was only his mom, actually. Sure, she might have been opposed to us being together, but his dad and little brother were perfectly fine with it. And actually, they were super supportive. We ended up going ahead with it in the end after Anton persuaded his mom to give us the go-ahead. Yep, I know. I didn't ask for an explanation, sweetie. You see, I already know the intimate details of your private life. Apparently, she only agreed to let you marry when he told her that you, coming from a broken family, meant you'd have nowhere to escape to, so she could treat you like her own personal slave. Did you know that's how Anton talks about you behind your back? Huh? Wait, what? Your mom got on board when she heard that, which is the only reason she finally agreed to the marriage. Didn't you think it was strange how she changed her mind all of a sudden? What is this? If you don't believe me, how about I send you the chat logs? I keep them in a special folder I check whenever I'm feeling bored and need to laugh. I see. I would like to confirm all this now, but I'm incredibly busy and it's not a good time. Listen, Nina, if you want me to divorce him, you're gonna need to send me a hell of a lot more proof than just a picture. Sure, I can do that. My family is rich, so if you charge us for compensation, we'll barely even notice. My mommy and daddy will be happy to pay any amount of money if it means securing their precious daughter's happiness. So it's evidence you want, huh? All right. Prepare to receive mountains of the stuff. You're probably going to want to start crying when you see what I'm about to send, so be sure to take regular breaks in between looking and taking deep, big breaths.
Hey, Gina, you announced you were divorcing me at my mom's frickin' funeral? What the hell's gotten into you? I can't believe you shoved a set of divorce papers in my face and stormed out of the church while I was mourning my dead mom. I got quizzed and interrogated by my entire goddamn family because of you. Do you know how much embarrassment you've caused me? This is the most senseless, ridiculous, absurd thing I've ever heard of.
If I'm absurd, then what are you?
Excuse me? What have I done that's absurd?
How about you ask your girlfriend about it? You are just as bad as each other.
My girlfriend?
Nina Jenkins.
What?
I know all about how you guys met after you approached her at a bar, but apparently you didn't know she was my classmate back in high school.
Seriously? Wait, but how do you know any of this?
She exposed your relationship to me herself. Tell me, Anton, when do you think she told me? It was the night of the first day of your condolence leave when you told me you were going to the office.
What?
A luxury hot spa resort, huh? You must have been really broken up about your mom. Congrats, Anton. You just won the grand prize for being the world's biggest scumbag. I mean, please. Using your condolence leave to go on a seedy vacation with your lover behind your wife's back? Are you really in any position to say I'm acting senselessly?
Gina, well, Nina seemed so excited when she pitched the plan for the vacation to me that I couldn't refuse.
Really? Because based on what she told me, you offered to pay for the whole thing. Also, she thought it was just a regular vacation and didn't know anything about your mom.
Huh?
I don't know if it's because Nina's never had a single job in her life, but she didn't know what condolence leave meant when I told her the situation.
Wow, really?
I'm sure you can imagine how surprised I was to get a slew of gloating messages from your pea-brained lover about how she'd stolen you from me while I was making preparations for your mom's funeral and you pretended to be at work. You're reaching levels of absurdity previously thought impossible here, Anton. I guess trying to steal another woman's husband is pretty absurd in and of itself. I couldn't decide whether you were both as bad as each other. But when I stopped to think about it, I figured the guy who used his condolence leave to mourn his dead mother as an opportunity to go on a lover's hot spa retreat absolutely had to take the prize. You may have been cheating on me, and Princess Nina may have come at you all of a sudden begging for a vacation, but I might have actually been able to maintain the tiniest morsel of respect for you if you'd offered to reschedule for a later date, or just said no because you were mourning your mom. The fact that you still chose your lover's vacation in spite of everything you had going on shows me that you truly are a heartless lowlife with zero redeeming qualities. And that's the mild version of what I think you are. Believe me, I could say so much more, but then I figure, what's the point? It won't change anything, and you're not worth the energy.
Just shut up, woman. This ain't fair. You can't go pinning this all on me. You've done your fair share of wrong, too. You got up and stormed out like a little kid having a tantrum in the middle of my mom's frickin' funeral. I mean, seriously, shoving a set of divorce papers in my face in front of all those people? What in the heck do you think you're playing at? Surely you could have waited until after the funeral. Why did you have to go and embarrass me in front of everyone I know like that? You got some nerve to spit on my mom's memory by turning her funeral into an episode of Jerry Springer, and then act like you're some righteous hero of justice, and I'm the one in the wrong.
Right. Normally what I did would be downright unacceptable. But you see, Anton, your dad gave me his permission to do what I did at the funeral.
What? My dad?
Listen, your lover, Nina, tried to barge her way into our house this morning.
She did what now?
You didn't tell her about your mom, so she had no idea how busy I was with the funeral arrangements. She was so disappointed at how weak my reaction to finding out about the affair was after she'd been waiting so long in excitement to tell me about it. Between feeling let down by how few craps I gave about her and the fact that you hadn't been answering her calls and responding slowly to her messages lately, she reached her wits' end, flipped out, and drove over to the house in a rage. Her anger turned to confusion when she let herself in by the front door, only to find your dad sobbing alone in his mourning clothes, holding a photo of your mother in the kitchen. That's when the reality of the situation sunk in.
My dad?
Your dad's always had good instincts. Figuring something fishy was going on, instead of calling you, he called me immediately and asked me to come over. When I explained the situation to him, it became pretty obvious what had happened.
Are you serious?
That's not all. Your dad, livid with what you'd done, messaged the whole family and everyone set to attend the funeral with word of your affair.
He did what?
He told me I was free to leave the funeral at any time if the stress of everything all got to be too much for me. And to be honest, I was already at breaking point mentally and emotionally. So I took him up on his offer and left halfway through. As for the divorce papers, Nina brought them with her when she let herself into the house. All I did was sign them and hand them over to you.
Jesus Christ! This cannot be real. Where's Nina now?
She went home. I called her parents after she left and told them about what she'd done, so presumably they're surveilling her at their place now.
Gina?
Oh, and you'll be paying me compensation.
Compensation?
I'll be hiring a lawyer in a week or so once I've had the time to rest and get my mind in a better place.
You're gonna file for compensation from me while I'm still mourning my mom.
Somehow or other, Anton, I feel like using your condolence leave to go on vacation at a hot spa resort with your lover permanently disqualified you from using your mother's death as an excuse to get out of anything.
Yeah, but...
I also have your dad's full support and backing, so I'm fully committed to doing this properly, and I promise I'll be taking you for everything I can. You better not try to escape. It's time to man up and face the consequences of your actions. Gina? Hello, are you there? What do you want? Well, I was kinda hoping we could discuss the whole thing with the compensation. I'll be hiring a lawyer over the coming days, so they'll be in contact with you when we've decided on how much you owe me. Well, Gina, I was kinda hoping we could, forget about all this? Excuse me? Please, just think about this for a sec. I didn't know anything about Anton's mom dying, or you guys being in the middle of making the preparations for her funeral, right? If I had known, I would have never have done what I did when I did. In a sense, I'm a victim in all this too, because Anton lied to me. So yeah, can we just forget all this and move on? Let bygones be bygones and all that? You must be crazy if you think I'm just gonna forget about what you did to me. Sure, I acknowledge that Anton was in the wrong for not telling you about his mom or the funeral. Right? So why can't we just forget about it? Because Anton not filling you in on all the details about his mom and you stealing my husband from me are two completely separate issues. So the compensation is going full steam ahead. You'll be paying me a lot of money, Nina, so I suggest you start rummaging through your piggy bank. Oh my god, what the hell is wrong with you? Have you never heard of the word sympathy before? How about you try having a heart, you insensitive old bag? I have been researching legal stuff online, and I'm pretty sure this counts as wait, what was it again? Extenuating circumstances. Extenuating circumstances? It counts as nothing of the sort, and you're tragically deluded if you think otherwise. In what way does not knowing about Anton's mom's funeral expunge you of guilt for the affair? Not only that, but an affair you intentionally plotted with glee to satisfy some pathetic grudge you held against me since back when we were in high school, and which you willfully and voluntarily sent me tons of evidence of to hurt me as much as possible. How could you think there is any way for you to get off the hook on this one? Well, just listen to me. You don't know how difficult my situation is right now. I have always been more of a housework girl, so I haven't had many jobs and don't have much experience working. Correction. I think you mean you've never had any jobs. Just because Mommy and Daddy reached their wits' end with you sponging off them and refused to pay the compensation doesn't mean you're getting out of it. I can't do this, Gina. I am begging you. Please, try to understand. What, did you seriously think I was going to feel any pity for you because you're actually going to have to face the consequences of your actions yourself, instead of being pulled out of yet another mess by the bank of Mommy and Daddy? But... Obviously not. I'm actually pleased it turned out this way. But I never thought this was gonna happen. Anyone who goes out of her way to steal another woman's husband should be prepared to lose everything. Gina! I'm not letting you off the hook. And I have zero sympathy for you. I have no intention of going easy on you in court. You will be paying me every cent of the compensation I charge you for. Oh my god! There's no way out this time. You made your bed. Now lie in it. After moving out of the in-laws' house, my friend kindly let me stay with her for a while. And with that, I finally set to work on hiring a lawyer and kicking off the divorce proceedings. I was convinced Anton would try to resist me at every turn, but to my surprise, he decided to yield to my demands after receiving a stern talking to from his dad. A few days later, I received every cent of the compensation I asked for in one lump sum, and the divorce was finalized. To make matters worse for my wayward ex-husband, word of him using his condolence leave to go on a lover's vacation got out at his workplace, and he voluntarily resigned to avoid the shame of being fired at the request of his boss. Finally, he was disowned by his dad and kicked out of the house. As for Nina, his partner in crime, after paying me my compensation by taking out a huge loan, she too was disowned by her mom and dad and kicked out onto the streets with nothing but a few dollars and a suitcase with her belongings to her name. There's something kind of poetically romantic about the two lovers of our story getting disowned by their parents and made homeless at the same time, don't you think? Apparently, they started renting a crappy old beat-up apartment in the rough part of town, an area known for its major crackhead and prostitute problem. However, in a sweet irony, it turns out Anton and Nina weren't a very good match for each other after all. Apparently, they started getting into fierce arguments every day, and before long, the neighbors, sick of not being able to sleep, reported them to the landlord. It's looking like they're going to be thrown back out on the streets before the end of the month.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.
Hello, Miriam. You're coming home today, right? Yeah, Mom. Should get there like about 6 p.m. or so. Has it really been 5 years? Are you busy at work now? Yeah, I suppose so. This work requires me to go overseas a lot, so yeah, it's kinda hectic at times. I'm driving over. I hope there's enough parking space available. If not, I may have to park it down the street at that parking garage. Don't worry. That spot is usually open. You can park it there. Oh, that reminds me. Those sweets you brought home when you were here 5 years ago? I remember they were real delicious. Oh yeah, those. Yep, they were pretty good. I'm surprised you remembered. I wonder if they are still available. They are pretty popular. I'm sure they still sell them. Could you pick some of those up for me on your way here? Sure, I can do that. Oh, yeah, Mom, there was something I wanted to ask you about. What is it? It's about Nadine. I heard that you're sort of acting a bit rude to her. Is that true? Pardon me? What are you talking about? It's just something I heard from a friend of mine that lives nearby. She told me that my younger brother's wife was having a hard time there, that you were mistreating her. Who told you that? I bet it was Caroline down the street, wasn't it? That's not true at all. I treat her like I do everyone else. She said you're making her do all the housework and she suffers verbal abuse from you on a daily basis. All I'm doing is giving her a little life lesson as an experienced mother. That's all. She needs someone to teach her how to cook and clean, right? Nadine is still young. She really has inadequate experience as a married woman. I can't believe people saw it that way. Mistreating her. Please, I would never do such a thing. But you know what? If such rumors are really going around, maybe I should come out and say it. What is it, Mom? To be honest, I really can't bring myself to like Nadine. I know Frank could find someone a lot better. I think she's just using my son. Huh? Are you serious, Mom? You sound like some conspiracy nut. Nadine seems like a really nice person if you ask me. Why do you have to take her side? You're my daughter, aren't you? I'm not taking anybody's side here. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying, you guys all live together, so it would be advantageous to all if each of you give and take a little, find common ground. Alright, I got it. I suppose if I just keep quiet, people won't see me as a mean old mother-in-law. I'm being serious here, Mom. Yes, I know. I'll try my best to be a better mother-in-law. I should be there by 6 or 7. Yes, all right. Drive carefully. Nadine, where the hell are you right now?
I was just vacuuming the living room. Your daughter's coming home, so I wanted the place looking spotless. Is there something you need?
Yes, my daughter. I was just online with her. She has a lot to say about you. Or should I say, she scolded me.
Huh? She said something about me?
So, you've been spreading gossip around that I've been mistreating you, that I'm making you work against your will.
I would never spread such rumors.
Don't you lie to me. I never did anything to you. All I did was discipline you so you would do a better job at cleaning and cooking, just passing down what I learned from my mother.
I'm sorry, I'm still not up to par with all the household chores. I assure you, I'll do better.
I'm not asking you to be an expert. All I'm saying is just do the basic chores, that's all. Your cooking is horrendous, your cleaning is always incomplete, and when you do the laundry, all the clothes end up all wrinkled. How can you even call yourself a housewife? Do you even realize the inconvenience you are causing?
I'm doing my best.
Well, it doesn't seem that way to me at all. It all seems half-baked. I don't believe you can make my son happy.
Please forgive me. I will do better. I assure you.
It's too late to apologize. I want you out of this house right this minute. As punishment for spreading all over the neighborhood. No dinner for you.
I don't recall spreading such rumors.
Shut your mouth. Don't you dare come back tonight. Stay at somewhere. Just stay away from here. Sleep at the park. I don't want you here tonight.
But I was...
I don't want to hear it. Just get out of here. Oh, and don't take any money with you. My punishment of no dinner will have no meaning.
All right, if you insist.
Hello, Nadine? Are you okay to talk?
Hello, Miriam. It's been a while. Good to see you back home again.
Yeah, thanks. I just got home a while ago.
Really? That's great. Must feel good to be home.
I just drove by the park on my way here and saw you digging through the trash bin. Were you looking for something?
Yeah. I was just,
I was going to stop and say hello, but I couldn't find a parking spot, so I figured I would see you at home. But you never showed. I could go back and help you find whatever you're looking for.
No, really, it's nothing. I wouldn't want to inconvenience you.
Don't be like that. We're family now. What were you looking for?
I was looking for some, food. I thought there might be some food someone left behind, so please, don't mind me, Miriam.
Wait, could you repeat what you just said?
Yeah, you know the 7-Eleven is nearby. Figured there might be some food scraps in there, so... maybe some leftover snacks?
Oh, I get it. You were looking for food scraps for the birds. Is that it?
No, nothing like that.
So what were you doing looking for food?
It's for me. I'm being starved.
Say again. What did you say? What's going on here?
Yes, well, it's just that.
Does this have to do with how my mom is mistreating you?
I really shouldn't.
Come on, Nadine. You've told me this much. Just come out and tell the whole story. The reason you told me that much can only mean you're reaching out for help. Well, I'm here to help you, Nadine. So let that cat out of the bag. I'm right, aren't I?
Well, I was. I was told that I had spread rumors around the neighborhood that I was being mistreated by your mother. She said that you told her that you scolded her for it.
My God, she said that? All I said was I heard some rumors from a local friend and asked her if it was true. She, of course, denied it.
But I never said anything about you spreading those rumors.
Yes, of course. I know you're not the kind of person to do such a thing. Anyway, thanks for believing me. I'm not sure if my mom purposely twisted my words, knowing what I'd said, or just took it at face value. I never should have mentioned it. Made things worse. I'm really sorry, Nadine.
Please, you're not to blame.
Now that you told me, can I ask you a little more about your situation? About you digging through the trash earlier?
Yes, that. Your mother won't allow me to eat as punishment, but when Frank is home, everything is pretty normal. But when he's late or on a business trip, she'd have her dinner as usual and then would throw all the leftovers away. She took possession of my bank book and cash card, so I'm constantly without money, unable to buy any food on my own.
I see. If you have no money and no card, you can't even use your smartphone as a payment method.
Yes, that's right. So, I was digging through the trash looking for scraps of food. I hate doing it, but I had no other choice.
Well, that's good to hear. So you didn't really eat any of that stuff, right?
No, not yet at least.
Not yet? This happened before?
The day before yesterday, Frank was ordered to go on a business trip for 2 weeks.
Wait, he's gonna be gone for 2 weeks?
This is the longest that he'll be gone. I've never had to endure this for that long. I don't know what I'm going to do. My parents passed away when I was young. I have no home to go back to.
Wait a sec, don't tell me you haven't eaten in 2 days. Why didn't you say that earlier? I'm headed over there right now. Wait there by the park entrance. Don't you dare go anywhere, Nadine.
Right. I'll be there.
Nadine, are you seeing this? Where the hell are you right now?
I'm sleeping in a park.
Good girl. Don't you dare go knocking on people's doors for help. All you'll do is spread more lies about me. Better to spend some time in the park with the squirrels. You do anything stupid and I'll make Frank divorce you. Just keep that in mind as you gaze up at the stars. Nadine, are you there? Are you doing okay?
Hello, Miriam. Yes, I'm fine. Thanks so much for getting me this motel room for the night. It's very comfortable. And thanks for dinner too. I must have seemed like a hungry child. I'm really sorry. And that $300 you lent me, I'll pay that back as soon as possible.
Forget about all that. Did you get a little rest?
Yes, definitely. I feel much better thanks to you.
You can have breakfast at the diner across the street after you check out tomorrow. So get your fill before I pick you up. I'll text you again in the morning.
Thanks for everything, Miriam.
Oh yeah, and I contacted Frank and told him everything. That idiot, he had no idea about any of this. Men, you can't live with them and you can't live without them, as they say.
Yeah, well, I didn't want to worry him. He was just so busy with work and all. I've never had to talk to him about any of this.
I sent him all the conversation text regarding this whole mess that he's furious about now.
Oh, so that's why he called earlier saying he was really sorry. He was on the verge of tears.
Oh, so he read the whole thing already, huh? Well, good for him.
Yes, seems like it. He said he talked to his boss about having urgent family matters and he finally got permission to come back for a while. He said that he'll arrive tomorrow at noon.
Okay, so everything is ready to go. We'll get the operation in motion tomorrow afternoon. My mom's going to be across town tomorrow for her women's luncheon, so she won't be back till later. So that's our chance to get the ball rolling.
Right. I won't ever forget this, Miriam.
We're not done yet. Let's leave the festivities for later. Miriam, are you still asleep? Good morning, Mom. I'm off to a luncheon with my friends today. The one you were talking about the other day, right? Well, have fun. You said you'll be back around 6 p.m.? No change there? Yes, that's about right. Okay, I'm off. See you later. Alright, drive carefully and have a nice luncheon, Mom. Nadine, you ready? Mom just left for her luncheon with friends. You at the diner?
Yes, just finished up.
I'll be there in 10 minutes. And then we start packing and moving this stuff out.
I'm ready anytime you are.
Nadine, where the hell are you? I just got home to find all Frank's and your stuff gone. The place is practically empty. What's this about? Explain yourself right this minute. I don't have time for this. Nadine, are you seeing this? Mom, you there? Miriam, where have you been? Something is not right at home. Do you know anything about this? I'll explain everything to you, Mom, so hold your horses. Frank and Nadine have moved out. They no longer live there. Wait, what? What are you saying? I can understand Nadine moving out, but Frank too? That can't be. Anyway, he's on a business trip now. How could he move out? He took some time off and came back to help move. Frank is furious how you treated Nadine. He had no idea what was going on. In fact, he was in tears when he heard. I feel the same way. I was away for 5 years. Maybe I never should have come back, but then again, I would never have known about Nadine. So in the end, it worked out. But I never want to return again, to be honest. But Oh, come on, Miriam. Relax. It's not what you think. I never treated her that badly. I really don't know what I did wrong. Well, let me explain something to you real simple like. Frank and I are infuriated by the way you treated Nadine, the way you deprived her of food, taking her money away from her. We concocted a plan to help her escape from this hellhole. When you were gone on your little luncheon with the girls, we set our plan into motion and got their stuff out of the house. Now that they've been liberated, they never plan to return. This is some sort of prank, right? You can't be serious. Please, you can't do this. Oh, and the reason why I came back after 5 long years? What do you mean, reason? You're just back for a visit, right? The reason I'm back is to ask you to move out of that house. Move out? What are you even talking about? You do know that this house is still in Dad's name, right? 5 years ago, you divorced Dad, but you refused to move out. So Dad, out of the kindness of his heart, arranged it so that you would pay $600 a month rent to continue living there. A bargain, if you ask me. Excuse me? What rent? Figures. You had no idea about the whole arrangement. At this time, Frank paid $400 a month and I covered the rest. Frank wanted to take Nadine and move out, but with having to pay the rent on the house, he was forced to stay. Anyway, getting back to what we were talking about Dad. A lot has happened in the 5 years since he divorced you. He decided to set things straight regarding the inheritance. And that's where that house comes in. The house you've been living in for the past 5 years. Dad asked me to come down here and talk to you about this whole arrangement and what we would do going forward. But as soon as I arrived, I find out about this abuse, this mistreatment of Nadine. Although I was all set to make some sort of accommodation and give you some leeway, but we came to the conclusion that none of that was needed. So, as the first step, I had Frank and Nadine escape from that house. How could you? I'm your mother, for God's sake. And you're next in line to get out of that house. What the hell are you talking about? You're my daughter. You can't do this. Why are you on your dad's side anyways? A daughter should back her mother up. That's always been the way. Your father abandoned me to live with another woman. I bet you didn't know that. Before we got divorced, when I found out about their relationship, can you imagine how hurt I was? I was in a depression for months afterwards. And now you plan to confiscate this house from me. I'm the victim here. How cruel does someone have to be to do such a thing? And you're my daughter. As payment for the suffering he brought to me, I demand that he hand over this house to me as compensation. I will never leave this house. This house is mine. Never will I hand over this house to you double-crossing traitors. Wow, where did that come from? You got it all backwards, Mom. Dad met his current wife after he divorced you. The reason he divorced you was because of your selfishness and disregard for others. Always looking out for number one. My selfishness? I never. No use explaining things now, but we've already made the decision, Mom. You're out of that house, like it or not. You can't be serious. Where the hell am I going to go? I have nowhere else to go. My folks are gone. I have no real close relatives to turn to. What do I do? I'll introduce you to a live-in job. Live-in what? Live-in job, Mom. You can live and work there, all inclusive. Frank's boss had some connections and found you the perfect position. I'd take it if I were you. It's a small fish processing factory up north called Ace Fisheries. They need a supervisor for their employee dormitory. It also includes cooking and cleaning. Ace Fisheries? That sounds familiar. Where have I heard that name before? But live in? No way. I can't do that. I'd rather you take me in. You're my daughter. You take care of me. It's the least you can do for your own mother. That's not happening. Why? I'm sure you have enough room. Now that my son has abandoned me, it seems the only other option is for my eldest daughter to take it upon herself to look after her poor mother. That only seems fair. Sorry, Mom, I'm getting married. Uh-huh? You mean married. Yeah, Mom, married. He is going to be transferred overseas for a few years at least, so I'll be joining him. So no way you can live with me. You can't do this to me, Miriam. I suggest you take up the offer from Ace Fisheries. You'll have a place to live, you can work, have 3 meals a day. What more can you ask for? You should be grateful you even have such a choice. I remember where I'd heard this Ace Fisheries. A friend's delinquent son ran into some trouble with the law, and one night a black van arrived at their home and took him away. Several years later, he returned, a completely changed man, a polite, well-groomed young man. I can't go there. Please, Miriam, I'm frightened. That black van. It's sitting right outside my door. What am I going to do? Miriam, please help me. Miriam, please don't do this. Although she resisted when that van arrived at her house, but she eventually relented and packed her meager belongings and was taken away. She arrived at the site several hours later and began work the very next morning, which involved cooking and cleaning for the woman worker. Many of these women were veteran workers with years of experience. Although a supervisor of this dorm, these women were thick-skinned, hard-working folks, and they would not take any crap from anybody, much less a pampered old woman. She would jump a mile when one of these tough women even talked to her. A self-centered attitude is ill-suited in a place like that. But all things considered, I think she's in good hands. It will be a good life lesson for her. Maybe those women will knock some common sense into her. As for Frank and Nadine, they rented a small apartment near where my dad lives, and they see each other often. I hear Nadine gets along great with Dad's new wife. I hope things work out for them. Me? I'm getting married in the summer and then heading to Europe for a few years. Maybe I'll finally be able to visit Paris. It's gonna be an adventure.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.